welcome to Coach's Decision, a local sports talk show that touches on stories from the Bay Area and beyond. I'm going to be playing Michael Jordan's flu game tonight, and the Pippin to my Jordan is Joaquin Nagel. How you doing, buddy?
Always excited to be introduced as the greatest Bull of all time.
Is he the greatest Bull of all time?
Quite possibly.
He might be the greatest Portland Trailblazer of all time.
I think Bill Walton would have something to say to you about that.
Fair enough. At least he was healthy.
Walton won the MVP and the title.
That's a good point. Have they won a title? They haven't won a title since?
That's
or before that?
No, just that one.
Dan Marino couldn't even do that.
And then he got hurt in the breaks of the game.
I need to read that book still.
It's sitting on my shelf.
Nice. Before we get into today's show, where we are going to talk about some NFL, some NBA, some Champions League soccer, and specifically some Steph Curry, please go to our website, coachesdecisionksco.com, and click through to fanatics.com and fansedge.com, a couple of our sponsors. If you buy sports merch from them, it really helps out our show, but only if you click through coachesdecisionksco.com to go to fanatics.com and fansedge.com. We thank you for doing that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started, because I know we talked about a little bit on Monday, if you didn't hear Good Morning Monterey Bay. The Green Bay Packers are no longer undefeated, but the Denver Broncos, who we all four of us that appear regularly on this show, kind of took them down a few pegs and said they might be the worst of the undefeated teams. This was several weeks ago. They remain undefeated, and they slaughtered Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers offense. Is the defense enough? Are they a 2000s Ravens type team, an 02 Buccaneers?
It could be. Right now, Football Outsiders has them as number one overall in DVOA, which is defense adjusted value over average. Mm-hmm. And their offense is number 30 out of 32.
But Peyton Manning finally looked competent. It took 6 weeks and a couple of interceptions here and there and low yardage totals. If I told you one of the quarterbacks in that game had 77 total yards, would you have guessed Manning or Aaron Rodgers?
I would have gone Manning 10 times out of 10.
Absolutely. 77 yards for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Eddie Lacy stuffed every time at the line. Packers getting 4- and 5-man rushes in their face and blanketing coverage from Denver's secondary. Do they become the favorite? Is it still the Patriots because they're still undefeated? The Bengals are still around?
I can't put them as the favorite, mostly because their offense could easily lay too much of a stinker in one of the games in the playoffs. They barely beat the Raiders. Well, mind you, the Raiders might be good, but they still barely beat the Raiders.
So Gary Kubiak wants to run a 2 tight end set, and to do that, he traded 2 6th-round picks and acquired a 6th-round pick and Vernon Davis from the 49ers. I've seen a lot of Vernon Davis games. He played with the Niners for 10 years.
Yeah, he was really good like 3 years ago.
4th or 5th all-time in receptions and yards. He has not been healthy this year. He also hasn't had a competent quarterback in quite a while, at least since Jim Harbaugh left and Colin Kaepernick fell apart. Can he at least get them up to 20th? 18th? Where do they have to be a competent offense?
Well, I think Peyton figuring out his own limitations is a big part of bringing their offense up to par, right? And it seems like from this last game that Peyton has a better handle on what he can and can't do, and maybe the 2 tight end set is the answer for him.
Yeah, he was really great with Julius Randle in previous seasons. Not Julius Randle, Julius Thomas. Him and Demaryius Thomas catching all those touchdowns when Manning was throwing 45, 50 a year. That's probably never going to happen again, but he can at least get up to the 20, 25 total.
Well, even just consider Tom Brady. Now, his decline hasn't been as precipitous as Manning, but he still doesn't have the deep ball that he once did. But the Pats went to running 2 tight end sets a while ago more often, and it just gives Brady more options in the short field, and he can just read the defense and pick the pass out.
Yeah, and
giving Manning that sort of flexibility in terms of making reads and calls will help him as he ages.
Yeah, and let's talk about one more team, because you love the Carolina Panthers. You love Cam Newton.
I do.
Cam loves the kids. We say it on every show. What do they have to do to convince you that they aren't just in a bad division and beating up on bad teams?
I don't know that they can. I really don't know.
Well, because the Colts are leading the AFC South. Nobody should win that division. That's not even fair.
The Colts are leading the league in backdoor covers. That's what's going on with the Colts.
It's ruining all of our picks. Where do you put the Panthers? Do you put them below the Bengals and Patriots and Broncos, or do you put them right in the mix?
I put them below the Bengals, the Patriots, and the Broncos.
Okay, interesting. Okay, let's move on, because Stephen Curry has been turning into the Human Torch.
He's lighting the world on fire.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And also some men just want to sing Disney songs in bed with their wife, like Steph.
Man, what a great guy. What a nice family. He's averaging almost 40 points a game. Unsustainable. Have the Warriors, though, found a next level? Can they not only duplicate last season, can they take it to the next level, whatever that may be?
Well, the next level for the first 4 games was becoming the first team to ever win their first 4 by a grand total of 100 points.
Oh, my goodness.
That's crazy.
Most of that's against Memphis. That was a
half
slaughter.
Of it. That was insane.
How does Marc Gasol let that happen? Mike Conley. These are good players. Zebo. We love Zebo.
So what's been most impressive with the Warriors so far this season has really been their defense. They're forcing other teams to go deep into the shot clock over and over again, and then they're breaking out, they're running, and they're getting dunks and 3-pointers and layups early in the shot clock, then forcing a turnover and just going the other way. It's really the defense that has me hopeful about this Dubs team.
And without Andrew Bogut, Festus Ezeli has really come along. He leads like the league in adjusted minutes in like rim protection and shots deflected or shots inflicted his justice upon. I don't know what the true stat is, but he's changing people's shots and he's changing the way they play.
Yeah, he is. And in the past, you've seen the Warriors go with Mo Spates as more of a scoring 5 off the bench to back up Bogut. But with Festus healthy, if you can have 2 elite rim protectors on your team and just rotate through them, they had the number 1 defense last year, and they could easily repeat that this year.
Yeah, Bogut shouldn't play more than 27, 28 minutes a game ever again.
Exactly.
The way his body's
he has
at
slimmed down. He looked more mobile at the start of this season than he did last year.
Okay. Yeah, and he's been relatively healthy. I mean, he misses big stretches of the season, as he is right now with a concussion, which obviously is not predictive or degenerative. It's just an accident. He hit Dante Cunningham in the head. But they can win. They did in the finals without Andrew Bogut.
The other concerns, Klay Thompson hasn't started this season off particularly well. I liked what I saw from him early in the Memphis game, but we liked what we saw from most of the Dubs early in the Memphis game. But there also has been a lot of garbage time, so he hasn't exactly been needed, and there hasn't been a lot of time for him to get his rhythm. Can
Curry win the scoring title if they keep winning by so many?
They won't keep winning by so many. Curry has this season will likely be his best shot at the scoring title, I think.
Okay. I mean, I've got my money on Damian Lillard because he's on my fantasy team.
And Damian Lillard's up there. Durant and Westbrook are going head-to-head and still putting up 25 a night each. Carmelo's not going to get there. He's not shooting well enough. And I really think Curry and Lillard both have a good chance.
I was going to save this for later in the show, but I have one question about one player in particular.
Okay.
What is up with Kobe Bryant?
Oh, man. There's so much to talk about with the Lakers. I don't know if we have time for all of it right now, but Kobe Bryant just doesn't have the lift anymore, and he's trying to prove to everyone that he's still Kobe Bryant, and he's not.
He shot a wide-open air ball from 3. Went over the rim and to the left, uncontested. It just looked very strange. It looked very out of place.
Yes.
So, they're not going to make the playoffs, and we knew that, but he's not even going to get like a Kobe Bryant memorial run around the league. He's just going to be forced to stop playing.
Well, he's going to stop. I don't know. Do you think he retires at the end of this year?
I hope so. From what I'm seeing now, if he has to average 18 points, if he has to shoot 19 or 20 times, like we were talking about Carmelo Anthony is doing right now.
And that's only 19 field goal attempts. It's more than 19 shooting possessions.
Right, because you're counting free throws and stuff like that. So yeah, Kobe's worst season by far. It's such a precipitous drop off. And LeBron laying down on his back.
Steve Nash won the MVP laying down on his back. So, I don't really think that's, Steve Nash played years laying down on his back, and one of his 2 back-to-back MVP seasons he was doing that. I don't think that's a big concern here.
Okay, and how much longer did he last after those seasons?
Well, he won the MVP in 5 and 6, and then he retired, and then his last good year was 11.
Okay.
So that's a while.
LeBron's probably going to get to year 20, right?
I don't know. It depends on if he Vince Carter's. If he's willing to change how his game operates and change how he operates within the flow of the game to suit his age and his limitations, yes. But if he Kobe's, since he came into the league so early and he started putting those playoff miles on his odometer so early, as Simmons likes to say, you could easily see a drop-off in the same way Kobe does.
It's also those Team USA miles. He's got to stop playing international basketball.
I think that would be a really good idea for him. Look at Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan extended his career by leaving the national team and playing fewer minutes and taking more rest games and just doing everything right for his body.
Fill me in on what's going on in Champions League. I believe we're in week 4.
Match day. So this is, yes, the 4th. So how it works is there are a bunch of different groups of 4 teams each, and everyone plays each other twice.
Because I like all the Bayerns. Those are my favorite teams.
Bayern.
Yeah.
Everyone plays everyone else in the group twice. So there's 6 group games, and then the top 2 from the group advance to the round of 16.
And it's knockout play. They play 2 games though, home and away, right?
Well, it's round robin.
Oh,
it's round robin, and then top 2 from each pool or
but
group
in the knockout
advance.
stage,
And then in the knockout stage, you play everyone twice. That's why in the round robin, you also play everyone twice, once at home, once away.
Right. Okay. So I saw Real Madrid clinched for the 19th time a trip to the knockout round. Who's the favorite?
Right now, Bayern Munich looks like the favorite.
Yeah.
They have one loss to a very good Arsenal team who actually started out the Champions League campaign pretty slowly, but then today they came back and they won 5-1 in resounding fashion with very stylish goals. They brought 2 world-class players off the bench in this game. They brought Iron Robin, who everyone remembers from the No Era Penal moment against Mexico, and Arturo Vidal, who helped lead Chile to a Copa America title this past summer. They brought them in off the bench. And Vidal was one of the linchpins of the Juventus team that made the Champions League final last year.
Mm-hmm. They took a draw today or yesterday, Juventus. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Not really a quality game they played there.
Exactly. And so they're in a group with Manchester City, who won yesterday, and so it looks like City and Juventus will probably both advance out of that group, and the last group game between City and Juventus will decide who wins the group. And winning the group is really important because you get teams because when you win the group, you can only be matched up with a team that finished second in their group.
Right, so you're playing a lesser team.
So you get to avoid Barca and Real and Bayern. But you could potentially play someone like Paris Saint-Germain, who's going to come in second to Real Madrid in their group.
That's just PSG for me.
Okay.
I've gone full George St. Pierre. I got tired of saying his name. GSP, PSG.
You just say it once on air, and now we can see PSG from here on out.
Paris Saint-Germain. Okay.
Exactly. There you go.
Well, I'm going to be much better at reading this because I'm excellent at reading ads. We are proud to be sponsored by local artist Ken Keegan. Ken is a huge fan of baseball. My goodness, his Mets really could not even escape that weekend in the World Series. They lost to the Royals. Ken is also a rubbish baseball player. He plays second base just like Daniel Murphy. But he's a very talented artist.
Does he play it better than Bill Buckner?
Oh, Bill Buckner's not a bad player. That was just one thing. But
it's just a Mets moment.
Daniel Murphy went all Brooks Conrad. That's actually the series. I'm going to talk to Daniel Zarchi about that because I want to talk about that Braves-Giants series from 2010. But you can find Ken's art on artwanted.com by searching his name, Ken Keegan, Kenkeegan. He has dozens of works. You can make prints. You can make coffee mugs, T-shirts. He has a lot of good stuff. That's artwanted.com, Ken Keegan, Keegan. I am a little off my game today, but somebody who I know is not going to be off his game because he never is my friend Daniel Zarchi. How you doing, dude?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So I can't root for the Kansas City Royals because they took us to Game 7, us being the Giants last season. But I couldn't help but think of the Giants when I watched that series because the way Daniel Murphy was playing reminded me of Brooks Conrad, and the way that adventurous base running ended up swinging the World Series really reminded me of that 2010 series between the Giants and the Braves where you had the Ishikawa walk, the Buster Posey steal. A lot of really weird stuff happened. Did that strike your memory at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think Brooks Conrad was the obvious comparison. I mean, the difference being that Daniel Murphy had been a major contributor to the Mets even making it to the World Series, as opposed to a backup to a backup to a backup who was only there because the Braves completely fell apart ligament-wise.
Okay, so
I think a better comparison maybe might be like Pat Burrell in the World Series, who had been a really great player. He really carried the Giants at times down the stretch in 2010, and then he got to the World Series and he went something like 0 for 13 with 11 strikeouts.
Right, and it was kind of a miracle, just like Daniel Murphy, that he was even hitting those home runs down the stretch anyway. He was a bit of a washed-out guy who they got for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
so,
that's an excellent comparison. What team has a better chance of making next year's World Series? Is it the Royals making their third straight or the Mets returning for number 2?
Well, both, because they play in different leagues.
Yeah, but who's more likely to do it? You have to have an opinion.
Yeah, I think... I mean, I thought the Mets were going to win, obviously. So I obviously think that they're kind of a better team. But also I think that they I mean, the problem is both teams have major stars leaving. The Royals are losing Alex Gordon this year. I mean, they might re-sign him, but who knows?
The Mets lose
He's going to be really expensive. The Mets lose Cespedes. The Royals lose Cueto, although he was always going to be a rental. Things like that. So I think if you just look at the guys who are left, the Mets probably have a better team on paper, but both teams are in enviable positions for garbage franchises like the San Francisco Giants.
I agree that the Royals are more likely to make it back, and I agree that the Mets are a better team than the Royals on paper. But I'm looking at the National League, and I think there's 5 teams better than the Mets. I think both the Dodgers and Giants, and then all 3 of those teams in the NL Central are all better than the New York Mets.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, the Central is really good. Obviously, they had 3 90-game winners and a 100-game winner, which hasn't happened in quite some time. But also, I wouldn't necessarily project the Giants to be better, except that it's an even year. I want them to be better, but
they have to be healthier.
Most of the guys,
they have to be healthier this year.
Is there a way that they're worse than they were this year?
Oh, of course. No, we're talking about the Giants.
No.
I mean, Brandon Crawford could give back all that he gained. Hunter Pence could get hurt. Madison Bumgarner.
Okay, how about if they're healthy? Is there a way they're worse than they were this year?
I don't think so, because they have such a great offense.
A healthy Matt Cain might actually not be good. Chris Heston might not repeat the magic that he had in the first half, even before he collapsed. I mean, second half Chris Heston might be kind of the real Chris Heston. A lot of guys who are playing way over their head, they might be as good as we thought, or they might be not very good. Matt Duffy might not be a superstar. Tomlinson might not be, these guys might not be legit major leaguers, and it's possible that they were just kind of faking it for a year. We've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah, Tomlinson's not for real. That's not for real at all.
And I think even if you disregard injury, which I wouldn't, but even if you do, the Giants do have major questions going forward, including all these pitchers that they might pick up, and each one has major question marks in the form of either major regression statistically or just times when they were really bad, and now we don't really know what to expect going forward.
Let's take the train down to Santa Clara, because I want to talk about Colin Kaepernick's benching. And I have 2 questions. A, would you have benched him for Blaine Gabbert? And B, do you think they're better with Gabbert?
No. I mean, okay, if they're benching Colin Kaepernick because he's in his own head, because he needs to go to the bullpen for a start and then skip a start and then he'll come back out.
I think you just invented something, Danny. You just invented the NFL quarterback bullpen.
I mean, that might be a real thing, but I don't think that's what's happening. I don't think anybody honestly thinks that's what they're doing. I think that, these are all conspiracy theories, but I think they're true. I think that if you look at Colin Kaepernick's contract situation, he signed this really team-friendly contract, and the team can kind of opt out of it after this year. The only way it becomes guaranteed is if he gets hurt.
Right. So well, the team's not being very friendly to him right now.
But I just don't see how any rational person could watch these games and think, what if we put in a really bad quarterback who also can't run? Because what you got these plays where they hike the ball, the right side of the offensive line, falls down, and then they immediately go blitzing into him. Even if they aren't doing a real blitz, every play is essentially a blitz. And Kaepernick has to catch the ball, turn around, race for his life, and then hope that maybe some receiver got open in the 1 second he had to breathe. It's not working for him, and there have been times when he's had a little bit of time and didn't make a good throw. But you want to put Blaine Gabbert in that situation? You think he's going to do any better? Well, I think he's going to get sacked 30 times.
He's going to get sacked all the time. There's no question about that. You've seen that the Niners can only have success when Kaepernick has time, and he can buy time, which Gabbert can't do at all.
Yeah, if Kaepernick could not run the way he did, he would be getting sacked every single play. It's his legs that have actually given them even the tiniest bit, just like what you're saying. Gabbert is going to hike the ball, and within 2 seconds, he's going to be on his back. And I know it sounds like I'm joking when I say he's going to get sacked 30 times, but I think 10 times is in play. I mean, has that ever happened before?
I don't think so. I think the record for sacks in a game, Derek Thomas did 7, but I guess if it was one quarterback, maybe 12 or 13. Yeah, actually, this could have happened. I want your 60-second take on Vernon Davis real quick. I want you to do a Vernon Davis tribute because I know how much you love the man.
I do love Vernon Davis, and I'm both sad and kind of happy to see him go. Vernon Davis was classically benched by Mike Singletary for lounging or something like that, and kind of came back with a fiery passion. And there was a long time there where he was honestly the best or second best offensive player on the team behind or alongside Frank Gore. And, he was with a lot of really bad teams, and he was with a couple of really good teams, and he was always kind of gigantic, but also the best athlete on the team, and carried a lot of offense. And so I'm sad to see what he's turned into, but I'm happy that he's going to have a quarterback.
I have one more question about the Niners organization as a whole. Is this an example of an NFL team tanking? Is benching Kaepernick going full 76ers here?
It could be. I mean, I think that the clearer sign are things like trading away Davis, which, I'm happy for it. I never had a problem with this team tanking. I had a problem with this team with Jed York basically making all these changes and then pretending that it's better off, that the team is better off without Jim Harbaugh, without a guy who's ever been a head coach before or knows what
what's he supposed to say? Oh, we were a better team with Jim Harbaugh, but I'm going to put my faith in this guy anyway. There's nothing much he can say. It was such a non-amicable breakup that there's nothing you can say. You're always going to pretend you're better with the next person, even if it's true or not.
Yeah, but you can say that this team is rebuilding. You can, and they finally admitted it by doing these trades, and I think that's good. If they want to rebuild, that's fine.
I think they're just scared of the rebuild word with the new stadium.
Well, sure, they should be. I mean, the retiring, the guys who retired, I mean, they had their reasons. You have to honor their reasons. When a guy is facing concussion issues and he's 24 or however old Chris Borland was, I mean, that's really sad. And you have to, you have to honor the difficulty that I'm sure they all went through to reach that decision. The problem is that not every problem facing this team is a result of retiring. It's a result of having subpar coaching. And coaching is one of the few things that can help overcome a lack of talent. But rather than actually go after one of the Rex Ryans or an actual head coach that was out there that's highly respected for taking up bad players and making them play well, instead they promoted a guy who's not going to talk back to them.
It's almost like tanking.
Yeah.
I mean, hiring a bad coach willfully is a form of tanking.
Like the Lakers and Byron Scott.
Yeah, you're subverting your players in order to leverage a draft pick or getting rid of Kaepernick and just having space to rebuild. But they won't say it, but this is clearly a rebuild.
All right.
And that's fine.
Danny, I got to cut you off, man. We're way over, Danny. Make your last point.
Oh, I have so much more to yell about.
One last point, Danny.
Okay, all I'm saying is if you're going to rebuild and the guy that you're going to take is Jared Goff or something like that, and of course his name is being thrown around for what will end up being a very high draft pick for the Niners, if you've got a guy like Kaepernick who's got the talent, who's got the skills, and all he needs are some supporting cast, they could use that high draft pick on an offensive lineman or something like that. But because of the way they've undermined Kaepernick and made him completely a non-asset, a non-entity, and probably almost certainly not going to be with his team next year, they're burning that high draft pick on the quarterback when they could have their quarterback and build around it.
Yeah, but he could go full bat Schaub. You don't know. Okay, Danny, you're going to stay on the line because we're going to do our NFL picks. First, we're going to go to another sponsor break. Woodstock's Pizza. There are 7 Woodstock's Pizzas, all in California, all the way from San Diego up to Chico, out to Davis, San Luis Obispo, I'm Isla Vista and one right here in Santa Cruz. It's very near and dear to my heart. It's a fantastic place to watch games. They have the NFL Sunday ticket. Each Woodstock's Pizza has the ticket. They've got very delicious pizza. They're heavy on the toppings. They have lots of beer taps. There's really nothing sports fans can't do there. You can't bring in outside drinks, but I think that's about the only thing holding Woodstock's back at this point. Put up a ping pong table on the patio and hang out. No, you can't do that either. But Woodstock's Pizza is the place to be if you are a sports fan and you enjoy pizza and beer. Those three things go together so well. And we're going to talk about some football. Before we get into our picks real quick, I have some round robin questions. Tory, we're going to bring you on the show right now. And I know how much you love the Dallas Cowboys. Are they done?
What did I say in my notes? The Dallas is right on track to becoming a fully fledged dumpster fire.
Okay, Joaquin, are they done? Can Tony Romo save them?
Can the state of Texas survive having these two teams?
Probably not. Danny, are you scratching off the Cowboys?
Tony Romo and Des Bryant, I mean, they could reel off a whole bunch of wins, but I'm holding out the tiniest bit of hope.
Okay.
They're not done.
You're an optimist, and it's because you can stay optimistic. How good is Oakland? Can they make the playoffs? Danny, sorry.
I think they could. I think they could grab a wild card. I mean, I think obviously the Broncos are the favorites to win that division. I don't think anybody's disputing that. But the AFC is very top heavy. I'll say. And when it comes to the wild card, I mean, who's their real competition?
The Jets. I mean, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be the Jets and the Raiders.
Maybe the Steelers. Tory or Joaquin, are you penciling the Raiders into the playoffs?
Amari.
You love Amari Cooper.
I can't pencil them in, but I really like that they own the tiebreaker over the Jets.
It's
I
just
think
pencil, Joaquin.
No, I'm just saying. I think they have a good shot to make the playoffs, and I think these last two wins, when being the underdog both at home and then on the road in San Diego, were huge, and having that tiebreaker is really big for them.
Joaquin, does anyone deserve to win the AFC South?
No.
Should they just
nobody?
Yeah, I mean, I could argue that, and you could say the Colts are bad. The Titans certainly just fired their coach.
Let another wild card team in.
Yeah, but look, Carolina made the playoffs as 7-8-1 last year, and they're a good team this year. They're 7-0. So
yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with them making the playoffs last year. Just don't let them in the playoffs. I don't see what the issue is.
Tory, under 500 teams in the playoffs?
They're too bad.
Too bad.
There's no saving South at this point.
Should the Niners play in the AFC South? Danny?
Would it matter?
It would not matter. The Niners play down to their competition.
Ken Whisenhunt of Tennessee was 3-20 as a Titans coach before he got fired. His wins were over the Chiefs, the Bucks, and the Jaguars. He went 1-1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which if you only have 3 wins and you're 1-1 against the Jaguars, you should probably be fired.
What? I was unaware they were still in the league. I'm sorry.
They're in the London League.
I thought they had gone down. Is there relegation in the NFL yet? What's going on?
There should be.
We've relegated Danny to being on the phone, so we're going to start with him. We're going to talk about our picks. Thursday night, Bengals, Browns, Bengals at home. Danny, what's your pick?
I'm taking the Bengals minus 11, is I believe the line.
I had it at 11.5. We can just call it 11 for now.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a lot of points, especially for a Thursday. But if you want to take 11 points, and the team to beat are the Browns because they do not have a defense. So I think good Andy shows up. He throws for 4 touchdowns, and AJ Green is going to go crazy against Joe Hayden.
Okay, Tory.
Is this game going to be anything other than a blowout?
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
The Browns are 2-6, and the Bengals are.
Don't hit your head on the microphone, Joaquin. That's bad radio out there.
Browns are 2-6.
Who cares?
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Joaquin,
the Browns got blown out by the Cards, and they're about to get blown out by the Bengals.
I'm gonna take the Browns.
Yeah.
Thursday night wonk game. I don't care if Johnny Football or Mr. Met is playing quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. They're gonna cover this 11. I had it 11.5, and I'm going to stick with it.
I had 11.5 too.
Okay, we're going to leave it at 11.5.
10.5.
You're on the wrong website. Once again, these are all offshore websites, so anything can change at any time. All right, Tori, let's start with you. Eagles and Cowboys. I have a spread of Eagles -3.
Well, I already used my dumpster fire joke about Dallas, but the Eagles were doing, comparatively speaking, the Eagles are doing just fine. Sam, I done made an oopsie Bradford is still better than Matt, we're desperate for anything that isn't Brandon Whedon Castle.
I done what now?
I done made an oopsie.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't like having to choose anything for this matchup.
Why are these teams playing in prime time again? I'm tired of
NFC East, man. NFC.
Get the flex trigger going. Like, let's just kick these teams out of this primetime spot.
All right, Eagles.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles too. The Joseph Randle debacle is enough for me to pick over the Sam Bradford debacle, which is much less a debacle than the Joseph Randle debacle. Danny?
Cowboys.
How about them boys?
We them boys.
You know, I mean, it hasn't gone for me. It hasn't gone right for me.
Nothing goes right for you, Danny.
Thanks, Thomas. But, down with the Eagles. I'm saying Cowboys +3. Always pick against the Eagles.
Okay.
Occasionally it'll work.
Our other must-pick game. Go ahead.
Bradford's bad, but Castle and Whedon are bad, but so is Bradford.
Okay, a lot of bad, a lot of Brad. Our last game we have to pick. Chargers are giving 4 to the Chicago Bears. Joaquin.
Chargers are giving up 4 points
to another NFL team.
And I'm still taking the Chargers. I don't know what's become of me. I don't know how I came to this conclusion. I know I really don't like the Bears, and I think the Boa is going to come through eventually. So
I'm gonna quote the Bhagavad Gita here. I am become death. I feel like death today, and I'm not ready to kill the Chargers. I'm taking them -4 over the Bears. When's the last time either of these teams had an offensive lineman who knew what he was doing? That's what I want to ask. How hard is it to get one competent offensive lineman?
I'm in the LT era? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's been like,
You're
2004?
talking to a Niners fan, Thomas.
I'm trying.
It's hard. It looks hard for a majority of NFL teams.
Danny?
I'm taking the Bears. The Chargers are depleted. They don't have a home field advantage. And Philip Rivers is used to carrying a bunch of children, so maybe he can push his team over the top here.
What's he got, 7 or 8 now?
I think 8.
Do you think
and the
he
oldest
knows?
is 13 years old.
Is he Mormon? Is that what this is all about? Because I've never really looked into his religious history.
They're
I think they just
down.
like to have the babies.
She's just a really good-looking woman, and he can't stay away. Okay, Tori, your pick.
Thomas,
Okay.
don't get fired.
I can't fire myself.
I got to read this wall of text because I was really proud of it writing it at 9 this morning. This is the sloppiest slop fest to ever slop itself into Monday night Slopball.
All right, which team are you slopping silly?
Bears are out Matt Forte to a hurting knee, and the Chargers are out Keenan Allen because organs are apparently soft and fleshy. So this game's a coin flip. I'm taking the Chargers because Chargers.
Everybody in the NFL is hurt right now.
I guess when in doubt, take the points, but I can't in good conscience pick the Bears.
Yeah.
No, I'm going Chargers as well.
I do think this might actually be the highest scoring game of the week. Not necessarily as a result of football talent, but kind of lack thereof.
Kind of like that Saints-Giants game.
Oh.
52-49.
Exactly.
I think the Saints became the only team to give up 49 points at home and win. That's a pretty amazing statistic. Okay, Tori, give us your first wild card pick.
I am taking the Pats over Washington.
They're giving 18, 24?
14.
14, okay.
To quote Danny, you can't set this line high enough. The last time these teams went head-to-head.
You didn't say it this week. There's still time, Danny.
The last time these teams went head-to-head, the Pats destroyed Washington at home while 7-0. I can't see this going differently.
So you're telling me you like that? You like that? Joaquin, do you like that?
That's what they do. My first pick, I'm taking the Packers over the Panthers. I'm going against my boy, Cam Newton, but I just don't see Aaron Rodgers failing to cover 2 weeks in a row.
Is Cam Newton your mom's favorite quarterback?
Sure.
Okay. Just want to check. Danny, your first wild card pick?
Falcons at Niners?
Yep, me too, buddy.
I'm taking the Falcons.
Of course you are.
-7. You can't make this line high enough. Do you want me to go back and tell you why I don't think the Niners are going to score in this game?
No, Danny. You don't need to tell us. I have written down Blaine, come out and play. I can't wait to watch Blaine Gabbert play again. His receivers' feet are always in danger, and not from the opponents.
Maybe Steph Curry can be quarterback.
He's a little wiry. I don't know.
Wiry.
Oh, God. I brought on the replacements.
Maybe Draymond Green can be quarterback.
Ooh, that's a good one. He can play offensive line for the Niners, maybe. He's got that big butt.
Actually, I'm saying Harrison Barnes can be our quarterback after he can't find a job next year.
Oh, wow. All right, Danny, your second wild card pick.
I'm going with Titans at Saints. I'm taking Saints -9.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought you were going to take the Titans, and I was like, dang it, Danny, we had the same wild card picks, but I took the Titans. Go ahead and give your reasoning.
Head-to-head.
Well, it's possible that this line is an overreaction to the Breeze apocalypse. I don't think it matters. I think the Saints are at home, and I don't think that Mariota or Mettenberger or whoever can keep up in a shootout the way Eli did.
Well, I took the Titans +9. New coach, new fire. It happened in Miami. They got off to a nice start, just playing more physical. I think that's what's going to happen with Tennessee. And New Orleans does not like physical play. They have the same coach and the same old bad defense in New Orleans. So give me the Titans in a bounce back week.
All right,
Joaquin.
My second wild card pick. I'm sticking with the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, you're riding Oakland.
Just riding the Oakland Raiders bandwagon.
You're gonna ghost ride that. You're gonna ghost ride that car.
Yeah, I believe they're getting points in Pittsburgh.
4, I think.
4.5.
4.5. Okay.
So they're getting 4.5 points, and I am riding with Oakland.
Okay, Tory.
I'm taking Broncos -4 to the Colts. Everyone's been calling Peyton Manning bad and washed up all season, but I don't think anyone told Peyton he was supposed to be bad and washed up. Looks like he's regained his footing, found a hybrid offense he can work with. That chicken parm is tasting real good again.
Chicken parm, you taste so
I mean,
good.
he should regain his footing. He touches the ground so often with his feet.
Oh, Danny?
Peyton Manning doesn't even say that line in that stupid commercial.
He does in the
watching
first
the
one.
TV.
No, that's the second one. The first one, he actually makes a chicken parm sandwich and eats it. Then it's like a remix where they have the woman on TV say it. So you missed the first one, Danny.
So it's an homage to the prior commercial.
You're just not nationwide.
His level of fame where he can hum something and that's how famous he is. He doesn't as a football player is insane.
It's a bad hum too. It's like off pitch. It's
that's why it's so good. That's why because everyone can do it.
It's
if
the
it was
off-key dad thing.
Yeah. He's got it dialed. Let's see I get there.
2 Super Bowls or the nationwide commercials. All right, well, those are our NFL picks, once again presented by Woodstock's Pizza. We're going to let you go, Danny. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Go Warriors, I guess.
Yeah, they're up 7 right now. A place you can watch the Warriors game is 99 Bottles in downtown Santa Cruz, a dining and drinking destination on Walnut Street between Pacific and Cedar. It's a great place. They have a little patio. You can bring your dog. You can sit at the bar and watch the Warriors or any sport. They'll put it on for you. Big TV upstairs. I know a lot of those Champions League and soccer fans go over there to watch games. The food is delicious. So many beers on tap. If you drink enough beer, they'll put a brick with your name on it on the wall. I'm actually going to try to get that done myself one of these days. I don't know if I can quite afford 100 beers in one night, but we'll see. We'll see. That's the thing stopping me. I can't afford it. It's not that I can't finish them.
Of course, Thomas.
What was the Wade Boggs record where he drank, 50 beers across a cross-country flight and then played the next day? I want to try that. Sounds like fun. I don't know what country I'm going to cross, but hopefully a bigger one than this one.
China.
All right, so, Tory, we're also going to let you go, but you can stay on the air and put your fist up towards your cheek like you have now, your self-satisfied smile. Let's move on because I'm self-satisfied and also horribly conflicted about the death of Grantland.
R.I.P.
That's my homepage. That's my favorite website.
Your homepage?
I don't even know where to read right now. What do I read? Give me 3 things I should be reading.
Go to your favorite sports subreddit, and then they'll link you to whatever good articles there exist.
He doesn't know how to use Reddit.
You don't need to. You just have to go to whatever sport you're looking for.
Yeah, but Grantland gave me everything. Get all my favorite writers in the same spot.
And they even pulled the best GIFs from Reddit to put on their website, and the NBA shoot-around and whatnot.
I read all of Chris Connolly's post-mortem. He became the editor-in-chief after Bill Simmons was essentially fired, and he took over and tried to keep the ship righted. And I think he tried his best, but it was a sinking ship. Once all those editors left, as we talked about, they pretty much had to fold. Should ESPN have shut them down? Financial reasons? Should they have shut them down because Simmons was gone? What do you think was truly motivating ESPN?
ESPN, once Simmons was gone, there was no reason for them to keep Grantland around, really. Like, Grantland is sort of like a boutique market, right? They're looking for high-quality journalism, long-form pieces, analytics, and it wasn't driving revenue at all.
But
it was
cares?
just driving image.
Not everything that you own has to drive revenue. Some things you own just because. Some NBA teams...
ESPN makes enough money off of football and basketball to not have to cater. They have the audience. They don't need to cater to anyone else. Like, if everyone who leaves ESPN and doesn't read anything else on ESPN because they loved Grantland, ESPN doesn't feel that at all.
Yeah, I'll miss it. I'll always blame Disney for Disneyfying ESPN, and now it's just they bring Ray Lewis on unironically, which bothers me because I don't know about that guy.
It's just all it is the NFL's pet network.
Yeah, that's true. And Bill was unwilling to kowtow to that, and that's why he's gone. And that's why Grantland is gone. I hope those guys, I know they got their contracts honored.
Well, the archives are still up, and I would recommend Jonathan Abrams' long-form player profile pieces for NFL players and the oral history of the mouse at the Palace.
I love all the 30 for 30 shorts. I've seen almost every single one. The Sid Finch one especially, from the 70s or 80s, can't remember. That was a really good one. All right, one more thing. NBA Rookie Watch.
Yeah. Love it.
Jabari Parker's kind of a rookie.
He made his season debut tonight with the Bucks. And honestly, he didn't look great on the court, and it's going to be hard for the Bucks to balance a front court of Jabari Parker and Greg Monroe when neither of them are specifically good defensive bigs.
Who's going to play defense on that team?
Giannis.
Okay.
Giannis, they have a lot of length on the perimeter. They got Giannis, they got Michael Carter-Williams, they got Chris Middleton. They got these guys 6'7" and taller who can switch, and they can blitz the pick and roll and try to generate turnovers that way.
Give Tory 2 reasons why Kristaps Porzingis is going to be awesome. Because she loves Kristaps.
Because he had a put-back dunk tonight where he practically put Kevin Love in the basket. Also, he's making threes on the pick and pop. He's great. He's like Sam Perkins crossed with... Yeah, he's just young Sam Perkins, essentially.
Sam Perkins.
He's got some solid gifts so far.
Big Smooth.
Big Smooth. That's a good nickname.
Yeah.
What does that translate to in his native language?
Bring back the cornrows? I don't know. Other rookie things. This is getting into what we were kind of talking about earlier with the Lakers. Mm-hmm. Julius Randle doesn't count as a rookie because he played a regular season game, but he's pretty much a rookie.
Right.
And Russell.
I think he's really smooth.
Yeah, but they don't get the ball.
That's fine.
Because of Kobe. Because Kobe's eventually the Lakers are stunting the growth of their young players by not only allowing Kobe to shoot his way in and out of a rhythm in the same game, but also having Nick Young and Lou Williams on the team.
Sorry, it's Lewis Williams now?
Whatever. Having
Nicholas Young and Lewis
having
Williams.
Those 3 ball-dominant perimeter players isn't helping their rookies at all. Especially when D'Angelo Russell wants the ball in his hands to make plays for other people. He doesn't want to clear out so Lou Williams can go one-on-one at the top of the circle or Nick Young can turn around while bricking a 3.
Right, and they lost that game with the Timberwolves because they gave Lou Williams the ball at the end and he wasn't able to finish the floater in the lane.
Exactly. And so Byron Scott said regarding D'Angelo Russell, he said, I want him to close games, but he has to earn his playing time. Well, you're a team that's you're going to win like 15 games this year. Just play the young guys. Let him grow.
Let them shoot threes.
He
hates threes.
Let D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle run a pick and roll, play a 2-man game, let Kobe do some facilitating for the young guys, but don't do whatever you're doing.
What about Jahlil Okafor real quick?
He's getting points. He's shooting above 50% from the field. He had a good game tonight against the Bucks, and he's going to continue to put up numbers. The Rookie of the Year race between him and Karl Towns is going to be a pretty close one because both of them are actually filling the box score. Especially Karl Towns with Rubio coming on.
I like that Minnesota team.
I like
watching them play.
It's fun. Andrew Wiggins is going to find his shooting form before long, and it's just going to be a fun team to watch.
Even if he doesn't, just the way he runs the floor on both sides, it's so entertaining to watch.
Now, he's a young Scottie Pippen.
Ooh. Who's the young Michael Jordan? Is it D'Angelo Russell?
There's no Michael Jordan.
I know. I have to ask that all the time because that's what people always want.
Who's the young Steph Curry? Who's the young LeBron?
Seth Curry? LeBron's 11-year-old son who's getting recruited.
There you go.
Right.
Is his name Jabron?
Jabron E. James. Short for Jabroni James. All right, Tori, we're going to bring you back on. Tori brings the lighter side of sports. She's the best NFL picker of the group. She also goes on to Reddit and finds all these things that I miss because I refuse to go on. So, Tori, what have we got today?
So, Bruce Arians excused his team this morning for the bye week. His quote, "We got through the team picture without anybody getting hurt, so we canceled practice."
You also sound like an NFL head coach right now. Your voice is kind of trailing. You sound like Doc Rivers.
My voice is still gone. 3 weeks out, and I still have no voice.
So wait, so no one got hurt in the team picture, so they canceled practice?
Yeah.
So if someone had gotten hurt during the team picture, they would have practiced?
I guess.
That's weird.
Punishment.
Yeah.
No being soft on that team.
Really, you stubbed your toe? Run laps.
All right, what do you got?
Let's see. Quinn Snyder says a domino driver at Missouri once drew a lob play on the back of Quinn's delivery, and he says it was better than anything I had.
Thoughts?
Okay.
Does Randy Whitman need to order Domino's? Is that the takeaway?
Maybe that would have been the answer for Scott Brooks keeping his job. Just order more Domino's.
So I brought this up on the Good Morning Monterey Bay show that I do with Rosemary in the mornings here. Domino's has new delivery cars that have keep warm ovens built into the car.
So they're just cooking like James Harden?
No, they're not cooking. They're just keeping them warm. But Rosemary suggested that, they should try to cook the pizzas. And I thought that'd be really rough to try and take them out of the oven at like a stoplight or anything. Delivery drivers, as I know, and as you know, Tori, are not the brightest bulbs in the drawer. Next story.
Remember how the Royals fell in love with Fatty Wap's Trap Queen?
I've since fallen out of love
Fatty
with
Wap?
Fatty Wap.
Man, words are hard.
Knick-knack, Fatty Wap.
So, Eric Hosmer scored his game-tying run exactly 17:38 into the World Series, an unintentional nod to Fatty Wap's crew, the Remy Boys, 17:38.
What do you mean 17:38 into the World
17
Series?
minutes, 38 seconds into the game.
That's not true.
Maybe he held up. Maybe he slowed down a little bit, sped up, looking at the clock.
Lucas Duda needed to listen to Trap
Like
Queen.
someone
That was a
actually
horrible
did the time, and it was 17 minutes, 18 seconds.
I don't believe that at all.
It was 17 minutes, 38 seconds, and 56 1/100ths of a second.
Okay, well, tell me your theories about 9/11 next. Let's compare the two.
Wow.
All right, next up.
Nearly twice as many people attended the Royals parade than live in Kansas City.
Well, it's not that big of a town.
Well, there's also
not.
Kansas City, Kansas. They're kind of connected, right?
Yeah, they're separated
I think
by
that's
a river,
a little, but that's a little Kansas City geography, like snafu. It's like saying if more people attended the Warriors parade than lived in Fremont if they played in Fremont.
Or if the Niners in
or
Santa
if the
Clara.
Niners win and more people attended the Niners parade than live in
How
Santa
many
Clara,
people
of course.
actually want to live in Fremont?
Or Santa Clara. I mean, I've been to Levi's, and it's like, it's just there. There's nothing around it. I mean, Great America's cool, but you're not going to, double down, I'm going to go to Great America and then watch the Niners lose.
Well, maybe
Well, I mean, for a
maybe
long
they're
time,
playing in prime time.
Yeah, maybe.
For a long time, Arco Arena, which is now Sleep Train Arena in Sacramento, was literally just in the middle of nothing. You'd cross the freeway, and all that was there.
If you build it. If you build
We're
it.
talking about Seattle.
Yeah.
If they build an arena. All right, Tori.
So this is my favorite one. Drew Brees' oldest son went rogue and cheered for Eli and Odell versus the Saints.
How many kids does he have?
He has 4, 3 boys and the little girl.
He's halfway to Rivers.
Who can resist Odell's hair?
His oldest son
gotta
wants
be
an
the hair.
Odell jersey. Apparently, it's because he goes to the same school that Eli and Odell went to.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of they come and they do a bunch of stuff with the school, and he's super jazzed about it. But
Oh, in New Orleans. I was thinking,
Yeah.
he's at Ole Miss? Is that,
Yeah.
did Odell go there?
Breeze is he's gonna have a conversation with his son about the
I
jersey.
saw that he
I
was
think
really
it's a losing
supportive.
battle.
Yeah, whatever. It's less pressure. You want your dad to be good at stuff, but if you root for somebody else, it takes a little pressure off that whole role model thing. Plus,
Yeah.
he's got
But
more
it's the
touchdowns
oldest
than Eli.
kid.
Yeah, there's 3 more.
And who wants to wear their dad's jersey? Ugh.
Definitely wouldn't want to be
When you're a teenager, wouldn't you just at that so hard?
Dad.
Dad, not your jersey.
Although if Andrew Luck had kids, I would not want to wear his jersey right now because he's leading the league in interceptions with 12, despite missing 2 games.
That's his jersey number.
Is he leading the league in games coached by a bad coach this season?
Chuck Strong. He could beat cancer, but he can't beat anybody else.
He could kind of beat teams in the AFC South.
I'm sorry.
I was sad while saying that, but I guess.
So Andrew Luck has 12 picks. Matt Hasselbeck might be a good choice. He played sick and beat the Chargers. I'm in here playing sick, and I'm doing terribly. So Matt Hasselbeck, I give so much respect
You think
to
so?
him.
Luck's the future.
He can sit down. It's
Why?
fine. Because he's not healthy. His ribs are destroyed.
Okay, you can say you're sitting, but they have to say he's injured. They can't just say they're benching him.
They're not saying he's injured because they don't want people targeting his ribs.
He's injured.
They're also
Right.
saying that his ribs are fine now, which is a load of crap.
Right, exactly. So he's got to sit. The season is not over. The division's going to be won by the Colts, by hook or by crook. I think Matt Hasselbeck could win that division.
Okay. I think they've committed so hard to saying he's not injured that benching him now would just be a fiasco.
Well, the whole team's a fiasco. Grigson and Pagano aren't getting along. Luck is like the most media-savvy guy ever because he bores people into not talking about him.
Yeah.
Andrew the Giant, what did you think about your performance last week?
Well, I think we played really well.
Both teams played hard.
Both teams played hard, my man.
He sure does have a pretty mouth. What do you got?
So, Rondo on Willie Cauley-Stein's nickname, I'll never call him Trill. His name is Rook.
Do we have to talk about Rondo every week?
We have to talk about the Kings every week,
Willie Trill.
Thomas.
Come on. Why was I not here last week? Where was I?
You were watching the Kings get their non-playoff
Stupid, sexy
season
Blake
earnings
Griffin.
start.
Stupid, sexy Blake Griffin.
They lost again. They
I
lost
know.
again tonight.
I know. We're like
To
1-5.
Brandon Knight in Phoenix.
We're awful. It's the Kings. They're always going to be there to break our hearts.
Jimmer Fredette,
Never forget.
Willie Cauley-Stein. They could
Stauskas?
couldn't they have had
Stauskas?
Couldn't they have had Moutier?
Yes.
That's insane.
They
True
could have had
story.
Moutier.
The password for my Wi-Fi at home is Stauskas
With
with the question mark.
And an exclamation point and a second question mark because that's how that's spelled.
So good.
One more quick one.
All right. LeBron James has become the youngest player to ever hit the 25,000